Hey, hey, how you doing? It's Shane from the guitarmentor.com. Now, sorry you caught me exercising. You're probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. Well, this is something that I purchased recently because I realized I need to get some strength back in my hands. My pinky and my third finger, they're lacking behind a little bit, which tends to happen sometimes if you don't keep up the exercise, just like any other exercise. Never had one of these back in the day, so it's a lot of fun. Back in the day, what we do was have a tennis ball, or squeeze the tennis ball between between your palm and your fingers, or some of us even had rocks, believe it or not. But most common, what I used to do was, if I was on a train or a bus or something like that, was just exercise my fingers like this against my palm. Now it helped, but unfortunately there's no restriction there, which you really need that to build up strength in your hand. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about building up the strength in your fingers. And why? Because I guess when you're a brand new player to the guitar, and doing something that you wouldn't normally be doing with your hands, you're going to require a bit of strength in your hands to actually play the guitar, to hold the notes down and to play chords. Now, normally it's not too much of a big deal when you're playing single notes, but it is once we get into chords. You'll find you're going to hold down more than two strings at a time, and which can be a challenge for some people. So best is if we start off very early and start building that strength up in your hands, for your fingertips especially, and also your fingers, because you're going to find your fingertips are the ones that are going to take the most battering, really. You'll find after the first couple of weeks, or within the first couple of weeks, you'll probably get a little bit of pain there, but that will disappear, believe me. Some people it'll take a couple of days, some people it'll take a couple of weeks, but it will go. It's just a case of training your fingers to that, and once you get past that little pain, your fingers will really strengthen up. So what we're going to have a look at today is not just that. If you can get one of these, fantastic. If you can't, use something like a tennis ball, or a rock if you really want to. But what we are going to do apart from that is have a look at some exercises that we can do on the guitar to strengthen our fingers and get some timing into our fingers as well. So we'll have a look at that now. Okay, so I want you to bear in mind with these exercises there is nothing musical about this at all. It's a pure exercise just for your fingers. So so don't think this is got anything to do with any scales or anything clever like that. This is purely just an exercise for your fingers. So anyway, we'll begin, and this is just a 4/4 exercise, and basically that just means that every finger goes on every fret. So this being your first finger will go on your first fret, second finger will go on the second fret, third finger on the third fret, and fourth finger on the fourth fret. So we'll play that on every string. I'll demonstrate. So okay, and when you get to the top there, what you want to do is come back down again. Now while you're doing that, you might hear some buzzing and so forth from the guitar. Now that'll mean that you're not pressing down on the fret hard enough, or it also could mean that your guitar needs a little bit of an adjustment. But but you'll find out pretty soon if you keep getting that buzz even after you've pressed the fret down really hard. So what you do when you finish the first exercise and gone all the way to the top and back 3 times, move up to the next fret and do the next 4. And then the next fret. And so forth, and keep going all the way up to the 12th fret if you can, and further if possible. So that's one of the exercises we can do. When we realize that some of our fingers are weaker than the others, what we might want to do is just engage 2 fingers and exercise it that way. I'll give you an example. Or we can do the second and third finger. And so forth. And we can also look at our third and fourth finger and exercise them. Let me just warn you, the third and fourth are going to be a lot weaker than the others, unfortunately. So anyway, we'll give it a try and see how we go. And so forth, and keep continuing all the way up to the 12th fret or further if you can. Now you probably heard a few buzzing there, buzzing as I was going through the frets. That is kind of normal, but we don't want it to be. So it shows that I still need practice to strengthen my 4th finger. On some strings it's much more stronger than others. As it comes up to the top here, the bigger, thicker strings, it will tend to be a lot weaker. So when that happens, what that tells me is the exercises that I'm doing, I probably need to do twice as much on these ones as I do with the other ones, and that'll certainly help strengthen it. I haven't done. See how you go with those exercises. They're really beneficial for building up the strength in your fingers. As you can see, first 3 fingers no problem, but my pinky is still weak even after many years of playing. But as I said before, I don't really do the exercises that much anymore because I've built strength in my hands. But it does point out to me that I need to do more work with the pinky. Doesn't seem to be evident in my playing when I'm actually playing lead or playing chords, but obviously when I'm doing those exercises it is evident, and certainly something that needs to be looked at. Now, having said that, some other things you need to do before you start playing at all is warm-up exercises. And simply, that's things like stretching your fingers, making a fist, stretching, and doing that for a couple of minutes, shaking your fingers. You know, these seem really stupid at first, but believe me, the more blood you can get moving into your hands, the better it'll be. I've had a lot of people that have said they've, never used to warm up their hands and just jump in straight away and start playing fast and things like that. A lot of them have got RSI now, where they get a lot of pain in their hands and they can't actually even pick up the guitar for very long. And a lot of them, unfortunately, have laid the guitar to rest and not picked it up again because of it. So be careful with what you do. Just warm up your hands, just like you would when you go to exercise. If you're going to exercise, your coach is going to tell you to warm up first before you do anything vigorous. And we don't look at guitar playing as very vigorous, but certainly if you're using your fingers quite a lot, it can be. So just play on the safe side. Warm your hands up for a couple of minutes and then get into your exercising. So anyway, be cool, and we'll talk soon.